Hey, Stephen Brooks here, and I teach those who manage their own portfolios, whether they're beginners or pros, how to generate a reliable six-figure salary, again, from that portfolio. And at the same time, I also show those students how to save between $5,000 and $50,000 in taxes on their trading profits. Pretty cool. Now, we're able to do that by having our students focus, and eliminate all distractions away from trading one specific trade, one system, in one specific product. Now, I've been teaching people how to be able to do this for over 6 years now, and in fact, over 6,000 students. And the one thing I could tell you is, when it comes to generating income from a portfolio, again, whether you're a beginner or a pro, when it comes to generating income, right, less is way, way more. And in fact, it really only requires typically knowledge and experience and mastery of one particular strategy in one particular product. Again, I'm not talking about those who are looking to build up a nice nest egg 10, 20, 30 years down the road. I'm talking to those who are looking to generate income now. Now, this strategy that I'm going to talk to you about today, the VXX repeat trade, it is not the strategy that I teach in the six-figure salary system. However, if you're looking to start generating actual income from your portfolio, this one might be really, really fun for you, and it might be really, really exciting for you because it has a very high success rate, close to 90%. It has a very nice ROI per trade, over 13%. And quite frankly, it's something that even if you're brand new to trading, once you watch this video, it should take you no more than an hour over the course of the next year to be able to do. So if that all sounds cool to you, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, I call this a repeat trade. And the reason I call this a repeat trade is because you'll always have it on. You'll always have it open. You'll always have it going, which means you open one, and then when you close that one, you open a brand new one. Same exact trade in the same exact stock. And in this case, of course, the stock is VXX. So again, I call this the VXX repeat trade. And it's a really, really, really simple strategy. A lot of folks have very complicated strategies. A lot of traders have, 8 different trading platforms and monitors that they're looking at the same time. They might have those charts look like a Jackson Pollock painting, have all these squiggly lines on it, all these trend lines, all these indicators. The VXX repeat trade, the conditions for placing the trade are if the stock market is open. So if the stock market is open in VXX, again, this is going to be one trade and one product, we look to buy the 90-day till expiration 50 delta put and sell the same 90-day to expiration 30 delta put. This creates a put debit spread. It is a bearish options spread. Now, after we open that trade, and I'll show you how to do it in a minute, we place a 25% profit target. And if we don't hit or realize that 25% profit target throughout the course of the trade, we'll hold it until expiration and take a loss on it. And like I said before, this is a repeat trade. So we're always in the trade. So we either hit the 25% profit target and we put on a brand new trade, or we don't hit that profit target, in which case we'll just take a loss when the trade expires. But at the same time, as soon as we take that loss, we put on a brand new one. So before we get into the actual numbers and before we get into why this works so well, let's go ahead and show you how to place this trade. Again, one trade, one product. Mastery of that is so much better than that diversification garbage. So you can see on the screen here, I am shooting this video a little bit after the market has closed. So some of the numbers in terms of the pricing of these options are going to be different because they're not real after hours. But the way it works is this. We go into VXX, done. Now again, the stock market's not open right now, so I won't be able to execute this trade. I'd be able to do it tomorrow once the market is open, but you get the idea. So what do? We go to the 90-day expiration, or the expiration cycle that expires closest to 90 days, right? In this case, We have 43 days, 50 days, 71 days, and 169 days. Out of all those, which one is the closest to 90 days? It's this one, 71 days till expiration. Now, in my platform, which is a Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade, now Schwab platform, the only information that I care about is the delta. Right, the way I'm able to get that on this platform, and if you use a different platform, you'll still be able to find the delta of an option. You just may have to look around a little bit or ask the customer support team of that online broker, hey, how do I find delta? Here's how you do it on Thinkorswim. You click right here, you go to Options, Theoretical, and Greeks, and click on delta. Now, why is that important? Because again, we've done the right stock, right? We've found the right expiration, and all we need to do is find the 50 delta put, which we're going to buy, and find the 30 delta put, which we're going to sell to create a put debit spread. So let's take a look at that. Well, what I see here really clearly is we have the 18 put, which is 55 delta. We have the 19 put, which is 59 delta, and we have the 17 put, which is 48 delta. The one that is closest to 50, at least of shooting this video right now, is that 17 put. Why? Because 48 is closer to 50 than 55. So I'm going to click on the ask on that 17 put. That is locating and buying the 50 delta put. Then what I'm going to do is we need to locate and find that 30 delta put. So let's go ahead and do that. Which one of these is closest to 30? Well, in this case, we have the 14 strike, which is 24, and we have the 15 strike, which is 33. Now, what I like to do in this case, either is fine. 15's fine or 14's fine. What I like to do is if they're roughly the same, I like to do the one that gives me a little bit of a wider spread. So if we sold the 15 delta put, we'd have a $2 wide spread. If we sold the 14 one, we'd have a $3 wide spread. I prefer the $3 one, but this is just personal preference. So to create a spread, I hold down on my keyboard on the control key, and I will click on the bid. This creates a debit spread. Now, we are going to pay $193 per spread that we do. Right? That's what's going to end up happening here based on the numbers. Once we actually buy this option or buy this spread, for example, we want to place a 25% profit target. So again, it's after hours. I won't be able to do it right now. You guys know how to do it. But how do I determine what that price is going to be? Well, we've bought it for $1.93. That means we are going to look to sell it at $2.41, $2.42, because that would realize a 25% profit on the position. And when you put in your closing order, you want to make sure that you set it as good till canceled. Good till canceled means it's open the whole time and you don't have to worry about monitoring the position, watching the position, because as soon as that price is hit, the broker or the platform will just take care of that for you. This is how you go ahead and locate it. This is the right expiration. This is the right stock. These are the right spreads. This is what you buy it for. And again, that closing order set as good till canceled is going to be $2.41, $2.42. So that's how you do it. And then again, if we hit the profit target, put on another one. If we don't hit the profit target, and when the trade is done, you just put on another one either way. Again, a repeat trade is always have one on. Now, I mentioned that this trade has some really good results, and it does. Because again, it's going to take you less than an hour, an entire year to do this. Quite frankly, especially if you have a little bit of experience, it'll probably take you 20 minutes for the entire year to do this. And for 20 minutes of work, the results are pretty good. So here's the actual results of the trade. We did a study from 2012 to 2018 in UVXY, and then we took the actual VXX numbers from 2018 until present, and I'm shooting this at the beginning of 2024. We also included the all winners and losers, right? So what we did was we took up the total return on investment and we divided it by 76 because we had 76 trades in the study. And we also subtracted from that overall result about $2 per trade on commissions, because that is the real result of what's going to end up happening if you were to go ahead and place this trade right now. So the results are stellar. Again, something that should take you no more than an hour a year if you're brand new, no more than 20 minutes a year if you're kind of a little bit experienced with this. The results, they're really, really good. The win rate, 68%. The wins are 68 wins out of 76, which comes out to about an 89% win rate. We only had 8 losses. Again, this is over a 12-year period. Only having 8 losses is really good, which comes out to about 10% of the time. One of the things I like about this the most, and one of the things that people who do this trade like the most, is you're not going to have a lot of losers in a row on this. Over the past 12 years, and we've experienced spikes in volatility during that time, you've only had 1 consecutive max loss. That's really good. And the average trade is over a 13% return, again, when including commissions and all that stuff. So this trade, it kicks some major butt. It is a super high win rate. It should take you almost no time to be able to do. And if you do focus on this one particular trade and one particular product, you're probably going to get way better results than you do with all this other cockamamie stuff that you do. And at the same time, you're going to spend way less time doing so. Now, why does this work so well? Right? Why does this work so well? A lot of people say, look at those results, man. How? Why does it work so well? Well, it's actually kind of interesting. So a lot of people will assume that VXX gets its pricing. Let's just pull up a chart here. A lot of people will assume that VXX will get its pricing from VIX, right? VXX is a volatility ETN. VIX is like the volatility index for the S&P 500. So a lot of people will assume, and it's incorrect, but it's not such a terrible assumption, but a lot of people will assume that VXX, again, it's a volatility ETN, gets its pricing somehow from VIX, which is the volatility index in the S&P 500. And that's not the case. The reason why VIX has a floor to it and VXX has no floor to it, right? Especially if we look over the past couple of years, for example. So let's go back to 3 years. Right, in the last 3 years, VIX clearly has some sort of a floor to it. If we take a look at VXX, there is no floor. It just keeps on going down. In March of 2021, this was trading for $348. Now it's trading for $16. Right, so you can see this thing, unlike VIX, which kind of has a floor to it, VXX just continues to go lower and lower and lower. Why is that the case? Well, the reason is because VXX does not get its pricing from the VIX. It gets its pricing from VIX futures contracts. And this is really cool. So the way it works is this. VXX is a ETN managed by Barclays Bank. And the way to think about it is this. Barclays Bank basically has a basket of a number of VIX futures contracts, right? They basically have a basket of VIX futures contracts. And let's say, just for easy math and an easy example, that they have a basket of 10 VIX futures contracts, right? 10 of them. What you'll notice is these VIX futures contracts expire at a certain point. So this one expires in 6 days, this one expires in 13 days, this one 20, this one 27, this one 34. So what that means is if they are holding any VIX futures contracts in their basket and they're going to expire, in order to keep the party going, in order to maintain VXX as a tradable product, they have to sell the VIX future contract before it expires and buy a new one. Makes sense. Now, what's really cool about that, or this, is that what you see is the current active VIX future contract here, which has 77,000 contracts traded today, VXF24. It's currently trading for about $14.70. If we go to the next one that has any volume, we're looking at VXG24 expiring 41 days from now. That, as you can see, is trading for $15.60. Now, here is why there's a huge difference between VIX, which does have a floor, and VXX, which does not have a floor. Because remember, it's a basket of, again, let's just use 10 as an example, VIX futures contracts. If one of the ones that is expiring soon is going to expire, Barclays Bank, to keep the party going, has to sell that shorter dated one and buy a further outdated one. Again, just to keep the party going. So think about it this way. If VXF24 was 5 of the 10 VIX futures contract in this basket created by Barclays Bank to create VXX, what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to sell these contracts, if it were today, for $14.70 and buy brand new ones 41 days out for $15.60. So the reason why VXX has this negative drag is because just to maintain that basket of VIX futures contracts, the ETN takes a theoretical loss just to maintain the position, because they're selling one for 14.70 and buying another for 15.60. Right? That does create a theoretical loss at the ETN level, which is why there's no floor under VXX. It goes down, it goes down, it goes down, and then it does a reverse split. It goes down, it goes down, it goes down, and then it does a reverse split. Why? Because the shorter dated VIX futures contract, 85% of the time, are less valuable than the ones further out in time. For those who are looking for cool SAT words, that is known as contango. So 85% of the time, the VIX futures contracts are in contango, which means the shorter dated contracts will cost less and are less valuable than the ones further out in time. So the reason that this stock, VXX, will always go to zero and then it will do a reverse split is simply because the VIX futures contracts are in contango 85% of the time historically. So 85% of the time, just to maintain the product, VXX has a theoretical loss. So of course, we want to be bearish on something that the inputs into the value of it create a negative drag against it 85% of the time. And one of the reasons why we have such ridiculous high success rates, 89% win rate, 13.11% per trade, only have a max consecutive loss of 1, is because of that 85% drag against VXX. It's 85% of the time. So that's the wording of what I just said. So anyway, again, like I said before, my name is Stephen Brooks. I teach those who manage their own portfolio, whether they're beginners or have experience, how to generate a very reliable six-figure salary from trading. If you're interested in doing that, just go ahead and click on the link in the description, book a call with my team, and we'll see if you're a good fit to get that six-figure salary. If you're not interested in it, again, when it comes to trading for income, investing for income, managing a portfolio for income, dividends pay 2-3%. That sucks. Treasury yields suck. Because they're not even liquid. This makes 13% per trade. There's about 5 or 6 of these per year. So that's a much better ROI than you're going to get anywhere else. It should take you no more than 20 minutes a year if you have experience, maybe an hour a year if you don't have experience. But again, for those looking to generate income, like pure income that you put into your pocket, you put into your bank account, and you live off of, you really only need to learn one particular strategy and one particular product. And while the VXX repeat trade is not the strategy that I teach in the six-figure salary system, for all you out there watching this who are interested in generating income from your portfolio, like this is an easy one. Like, this is like the easiest one I've ever seen. It has a super high win rate, and it's going to take you little to no time. So again, if you found this valuable and you want to learn more from me, go ahead, click that subscribe button, click on the bell to get notifications. I'm going to post as many videos as I actually can. You know, I've made over $1 million myself personally from the market. My students have made a collective over $50 million trading in the market. And I think that anyone with the right direction, with the right focus, and eliminating all distractions can really do super well, and at a minimum supplement their income on top of what they make in their job. So again, this is not what I teach in the six-figure salary system, but it is under the umbrella, under the concept of, you know, one trade in one product. Eliminate everything else and focus on one thing and become very, very good at it. And this is something that really anyone can do. You know, watch the video maybe a second time to really go through the click this button, then click this button, then click this button. But this should be a home run for you and should at least start your journey if you don't want to move forward with the six-figure salary system. This should at least start your journey with generating income, not buying, hoping, and praying, but generating income from your portfolio.